Welcome back to Careful Boys. Take it away, Joe.
So we haven't done a conspiracy corner in a very long time.
True.
Okay. Do you guys remember a couple of years ago, the CIA started releasing hella documents, right? About the things, UFO sightings, whatever, right? And you remember that the CIA released the true reality of the world or whatever. There was all these. It's called the it's like Gateway Experience or something like that.
Okay.
So I did a deep dive into it, and basically, the CIA employed a bunch of fucking psychics to help them.
I saw this.
Okay.
Yes.
So-
To remote view.
Yes.
Yes.
And then so Sean Ryan had a couple of people from what was called the Monroe Institute, and it was basically they're trying to do some like metaphysical shit, right? Like they're trying to get people to really harness and tune these psychic abilities. They use this thing called hemisync, where they play two different frequencies, and your brain, your right and the left, they're trying to get it synced up to get like full capacity of being able to do some supernatural shit, like remote viewing.
Yeah. Like K-Pax shit.
Yeah. And then if you go on the CIA website, they have hella documents that came out about like all these experiments that they did. And I went on this fucking deep dive. I tried the
It's all
hemisync
public
stuff.
documents, by the way. It's not like conspiracy shit. This is documents have been released about how the CIA had a program for remote viewing.
Yep.
They had people working there who would hand them an envelope with coordinates, and then they would ask them to describe what they're seeing there.
Yep.
People that they believed had psychic abilities for whatever reason. I don't know how they tested them or any of that shit. But then then the people would describe things that Joe's getting to.
So it's all the same people my mom knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Chinese ladies.
So what's freaking crazy, okay, is so you know that guy Sean Ryan, he has a podcast.
Yeah.
He got one of the participants of that CIA program on his podcast. And you remember that movie? I think it's called The Hunt for Red October or whatever.
the submarine movie?
The submarine movie.
Sean Connery.
Yeah. So the way they actually found that submarine is because he remote viewed it.
Oh shit.
And it's all on this fucking CIA shit. Like it shows you. So the way that the experiment works is there's a mod, right? There's a moderator that's asking you questions. They're putting you in like kind of hypnosis and all that. And he has either coordinates or your agenda on this envelope. He folds up the envelope, puts it in his pocket, and he goes, all right, your mission is right here. And you're in this like fucking room that they built out that is got no stimulation. It's just you, and then you're this fucking psychic.
They also curve it in a certain way. I don't remember exactly what they do, but they almost curve it in a certain way so that you're almost in like a little bit of like a whirlpool, but it's a room. Like as far as the structural build of
Sounds just like Stranger Things. Like the way they do the testing in
It's
there.
like that, yeah.
That type of shit, huh?
And then so this trained psychic, they are like, all right, so here's the coordinates. What do you see? And then the coordinates would be like a big facility, and this was during the Cold War, so they're trying to figure out what this Soviet facility was, and they would have several different psychics in different rooms, and I think a couple of them came up with the same exact thing. They found out that they're like, it's a massive fucking submarine, and then everyone's like, nah. When they sent this to headquarters is like, where'd you get this information? Oh, it's our psychic program. They're like, bullshit. He goes, no, trust me, it's a massive fucking submarine, and other psychics were getting the same shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there was always like one guy who's like, I think it's Nancy Reagan's butthole, but then they were like, no,
No, this guy is a weird one.
that's not him. That doesn't reflect the program. Yeah. That doesn't reflect the program.
Are you even trying?
And they're like, how can it be a
Oh,
submarine?
16.5.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it's a sub.
I was across the world.
Up too. Is that what you got? Oh, that's what I got.
You said sub?
You said sub, right?
I was in DC, brother.
Like a real small sub.
These guys all say sub? Yeah, it's a sub.
He just wants the paycheck.
Yeah.
He's just... But yeah, like the top government guys were like, nah, we don't believe this shit. This fucking bullshit, right? Send it back. There was like some guy that was reading everything. He goes, oh shit. And then I guess they somehow sent like someone over there to take pictures on some planes. And they even had the dates of like it's gonna launch within 6 months, and it's gonna happen. So then like on like 123 days into it, they go over there, snap photos, and guess what? It's one of the biggest fucking submarines that they've ever seen.
Holy shit.
And everyone's like, what the fuck? So I just went down this crazy rabbit hole. And I'm like, how is this shit even possible? Because you look it up and everyone's like, nah, this shit don't work.
Yeah.
This shit's fucking bullshit, man. It doesn't work.
Remember I told you about the lady my mom took me to go see? It was in Diamond Bar. And then, so she's like an acupuncturist or whatever, but apparently if you request her for fucking extraterrestrial services, she'll give you those services.
Secret menu.
Yeah, and then so when we went
Animal
there,
style.
and hers is the address style. Like, you give her your address, she'll tell you what's wrong with your house and rearrange your house, and then you have a better life or whatever. So we went there. I told, she was like, what's your... And I'm always skeptical, because my mom knows all these crazy motherfuckers. Most of them seem like quacks to me. And I go there, and I was like, oh yeah, this is my dad's address. I live with my dad. Now, this is when I first got kicked out of high school, so I'm leaving my mom's house, staying with my dad. I give him my dad's address, and then she's like, okay. And she starts drawing out the layout of the upstairs of my dad's house. She's like, okay, there's like 4 rooms. And I was like, what the fuck? Because my mom hasn't even been inside. So my mom's usually the type of person to leak information. You know, like, oh, my son just got kicked out of school. What do you think? What do you think? And they'll be like, I sense trouble in your son's future. I'm like, she's so accurate.
Cold read, she'll just give it up.
She gives out so much information, but she hasn't even been inside, and she starts drawing the layout. There's 4 rooms, there's stairs, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she was like, yeah, and the house is like, it faces east. Oh yeah, there's a lamp in the front, and that light bulb's always out. And when she said that, I got chills. I was like, what the fuck? But I still don't go, I don't believe this fucking bitch. Probably did some spying or whatever the fuck. But yeah, there's people that can do shit like that. I don't know what her fucking...
Hell?
We gotta ask fucking...
Savio?
Savio about this shit.
I gotta ask ChatGPT, and I did.
You gotta ask Google Street View.
She's looking at Zillow.
She's on Zillow or Street View.
But this is 2001, you know? This is 2000, where we're printing out MapQuest and
That's
shit.
even crazier than
It's like,
He's like, I'm on Redfin, actually.
yeah, so it's crazy that's like...
she can Google through time.
Well, okay.
She's a Stargate.
So you'll know what's crazy about that is that part of the CIA program documents that are released involve one of the test subjects was asked to same thing as Joe's saying. He's like, we have coordinates in an envelope here.
Are you gonna talk about the Mars?
Yes.
I knew it. Okay.
Yes. They're like, we want you to tell us what's there. And they go back 1,000,000 years in the past and tell us what's there.
Wait, no, he doesn't know that. So the thing is, same thing, right? He doesn't know the person that's doing the remote viewing. They don't know what their mission is.
I see.
The moderator, he writes down or he gets the mission in the envelope, puts it in his pocket. They don't see it, and then they go, "This is the mission. What do you see?" And they go, "I see pyramids." And so this whole time they think they found like a new archaeological find. The coordinates are actually, you know, in Mars they found that little town and it looks like pyramids in a whatever. And yeah, it's crazy. When he's explaining this, I'm reading the fucking stenographer writing down what was going on. It's on the CIA website.
Wow.
And basically he's in Mars. But he doesn't know it. He just thinks he's in some ancient...
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He's describing it. He's describing all of it.
Yes. And he goes...
It's very like red. He's like, and they have like these like different, like, I can't tell what their words is on these pyramids. It's a big pyramid. He's like, I can tell it's not Giza. It's way bigger than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
What the...
And he's like, dude, and then they're like, what else do you see? Do you see people? Do you see biologics or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah, I see these giant humans, basically.
They're like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So he told him so he goes, when you're there, he goes, it looks like some ruins. And he goes, okay, go back to when it was thriving or whatever. And then he says, yeah, there's people that are in these pyramids and then they use them to sleep. I guess there's some storms, some dust storms, whatever. And he was describing that these people, it was like an ancient race of people and it was like a dying planet or a dying thing.
Yeah. And they feel like they're at the end. He's like,
Yeah.
they feel like they're dying. They're at the end.
And they're waiting for people. They're waiting for someone to come back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
What year was this?
So
So then they
The mission was 1,000,000 years BC.
No, I mean the time at which that this was happening.
Oh, when they discovered
70s,
Mars.
I think?
The 70s.
When they were doing this stuff.
When when they took pictures of Mars? It had to be like 1980 something or whatever.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just in case you've noticed some of these lovely jade pieces on some of our men here, just know that you can get some for yourself over at thejadejewelers.co. Visit our friends here at the site and check out some of the pieces they've got. The selection is massive. You can find all kinds of different designs, and they even do some custom work, so if you want to check them out, we'll be very grateful. We love these guys over at Jade Jewelers, and we're happy for you guys to be able to get the same stuff.
So basically, when the Army or NASA got those photos, they sent that to this guy, to the Institute.
The program, yeah.
To figure out what the hell this thing was.
Yep.
And then when he remote viewed it, he was able to see, and it seems like humans actually came from Mars.
Or some version of that. And
Yeah.
and then he was also saying, like I said, he was like, I can see like it looks like some kind of writing that I don't understand. They actually took the same envelope that Joe's talking about with the same coordinates, right? They gave it to another guy, and he said he was seeing Nancy Reagan's butthole.
Yep.
So that's why there's outliers. It's the same guy.
But he was zoomed out and then he was zoomed in. That's why.
But when he's like 16.5.
He's like, how am I doing? He's like, do I still get the free hot dog thing?
Yeah.
At lunch?
That shit, the Mars shit was crazy.
Easy, bro.
But the crazy thing about it is you could go on the CIA government website and everything that this guy was saying in the podcast, everything, it's like, you can just read that this experiment actually happened.
Like fact check the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do they have the names of the psychics and stuff?
Yeah. It's Joe Mick something.
Something, yeah. It was just on.
Joseph Mack something.
McElroy.
He was just on. He was just on Sean Ryan.
I wonder why they felt so comfortable enough to be able to like just publish it. Like they're like, oh, cool.
I think it was a FICA thing or whatever, a Freedom of Information Act.
Oh yeah.
They have to release the
After a
files.
certain amount of time.
Yeah.
How many years?
Well, it doesn't prove it. Like, I don't think there was any wrongdoing. Like, it's open.
They're not saying this is definitive. We know for
Yeah.
a fact this is true. They're saying this is what we did in this program, and here's what our results were.
Yeah.
And we don't know that this is a fact, but this is what we found out.
Yeah. But they were working with paranormal things, right? Yeah. And then what he was saying is what the army and government tries to do is they try to systemize a lot of things, and they try to create like the best.
They compartmentalize the
Yeah.
shit out of everything.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of psychics from that program that are now open and talking about their experience. And it's not like they went through something bad. They're just like, yeah, every day you wake up and it's like a job. You go in and then you just like for 8 hours, you work. So you're either trying to figure out something with the coordinates, or you're just writing a report on what your experience was.
Wow.
And then so there's it's like Stranger Things. Like there's a real office space with a bunch of fucking trained psychics, and then they have this system and they try to figure out like spy shit or whatever. And in that program though, they found a lot of missing people, a lot of like unexplainable weird shit.
Wow. And there's also, on the converse, there's like the Man Who Stared at Goats, which is like also a declassified program. Remember that?
That's MK Ultra. Is that what that
That was like one of those where they're like, they had guys staring at ghosts trying to kill them and stuff.
Trying to blow them up, right?
Yeah, trying to blow them up.
Yeah.
But like, that was a bullshit one.
Yeah.
So like, some of this goes with like the true stuff sometimes. Any good disinformation campaign, you put true stuff, you put fake stuff.
Yeah.
So which one's the true stuff? Which one's the fake stuff? Is Mars true? Is Mars fake? Is Men Who Stare at Goats true? Is Men Who Stare at Goats fake? Like all that stuff is just kind of shuffled around, and it's up to us to determine what we think.
I thought the way they qualified a psychic was pretty interesting though. So the way that the military was trying to find the best people for psychics is
Diamond Bar.
Chinese warlocks. No, they were like they were like, if we can find people in industries that are like high mortality rate, but they're surviving for a long time, they're probably good with like odds, or maybe they're psychic.
Interesting.
So then this guy was like a special forces dude, and he's been in Vietnam doing like the craziest missions, and like everybody dies but him all the time. And then apparently, like, when he was invited into this program and shit, he didn't even know that he was being tested for his psychic ability. He was just like,
that's
this might
cool.
be like a psyop
Yeah.
shit, like some CIA, like to test my patriotism. So I'm gonna do my best and see if I can like do it and not get fooled.
So they're like, maybe he has a foresight that came natural to
Yeah.
him his whole life, and it never like stood out.
Yeah. But then when he started doing the training and stuff, he was like the Michael Jordan of the game.
Wow.
Because yeah.
That's a pretty cool way of doing it.
But he's the guy who says so, right?
No, there was someone that vouched for him.
Okay.
And then he's the.
I was the Michael Jordan of the game.
I was the Michael Jordan of
Oh, I
psychics.
was the Michael Jordan of the whole.
There were like several people that came
Hadn't
on.
come out yet during this time, but
Good point.
There was a couple people that came to the Sean Ryan
He predicted.
thing before him.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, can you introduce me to that guy?" And you're like, "Yeah."
Got
And then the big dog came in.
I'm about to be the Michael Jordan of this
I'm
game.
about. You'll see. You'll see later. You'll see
Get
later.
it later.
Have you seen the woman? There's a lady named Angie Ford or something like that. So she was also part of the program too, and I guess she was like a top analyst for the Pentagon, and she was kind of bullied and all that because she was some like autistic ass girl, and then when she got into this program, she fucking crushed it.
Really?
Yeah, and then she was really good at catching people on the America's Most Wanted.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
She even located this dude that was like, everyone thought he was in the East Coast or something. And she goes, "Oh, he's in Utah." And they're like, "Bullshit." And then they found him in Utah. Wow.
Damn.
That's so sick.
Surprised they don't use them more often.
Well, that's the thing. They said that, oh, we closed this program. Yeah, sure.
Well, the thing is, anyone can train at the Monroe Institute. I looked into it. So, okay, yeah. The reason why I told you this, because I was like,
in his application.
Yeah.
I was like, it's fucking crazy how this shit's even a thing, right? And so the Monroe Institute is not government. It's a private thing that this guy developed. But the government was looking for something out there that's not quacky and like fucking looking into a crystal ball.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make it more scientific and replicable. So they created a training program that the CIA used. And then so you can also, as a civilian, go to this and like learn the same shit these guys did. And he's like, in the program, like they'll teach you shit about like remote viewing or being able to see like things like, here's a picture in another room. And then you tune into your skills of like being able to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, that's fucking sick.
That was sick.
Yeah.
So there's actually a training program for that.
Yeah. You can take it. I don't know how quacky it is, but man, if the government is going to spend millions of dollars into it, doesn't seem like some gypsy shit to me.
Dude, I'd be in there and I'd be like, it's Anthony doing a lot of gay shit. Anthony's doing a lot of gay stuff.
But I'm about to be the Jordan of that shit.
He's about to be the Jordan of gay stuff.
I would be like, I would get everyone together and be like, all right, when they come in here, we're all gonna say we saw Nancy Reagan's puddle.
You're going to troll it so hard. Dude, I just want to view a girl in the shower.